Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Are we live? Are we live? Showtime.
Your facial expression.
I know I got them. I'm so animated.
You are animated. I'm animated too, so it works.
Mm-mm.
But today we are here to review Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 10 and we are on episode number 7.
No, I made that up. I'm sorry. I'm already on Ready to Love, so forgive me.
Right,
You got the
because that's
intro.
what I'm thinking. We're on 3, right?
Yeah.
We're on 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys don't know, we are going to be filming Ready to Love, their first episode back from their break. We're going to be doing that after we do our live review for Huntsville. So just to let you know, so if you guys want to stick around, we're going to be doing this, and at night we're going to stop this video, and then we're going to go to review Ready to Love, the what is, I don't even know, the
season 10 episode 7.
Yeah, but the what is it? Because I'm thinking it's like after their break that they had, their 9-month break that they had. I was trying to give it a name, I couldn't think of anything. So if you guys are watching the replay of this, just make sure after you watch this, you go and check out our Ready to Love live review for the new season 10, episode number 7, which is the first episode back from their break. And shout out to everyone that is joining us. Shout out to our Auntie Eva. Hey, Faith. What's going on, guys? Thank you for everyone that's coming in. We're going to go ahead and get started in a minute. We're going to give some people some time to... Oh my God, she said the worst season ever. She said this season sucks. We're going to give some people time to get in here before we get started. But is there anything you want to say, like, before we get started?
Just we appreciate everybody stopping in for the live, and hopefully you'll join us after
CJ.
this for the Ready to Love review.
Absolutely. And make sure you take some time to give this video a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to our Sabrina and Itz Jdub channel, please make sure you subscribe to that, because after, what is it, one more week?
I'm gonna say one more week.
Yeah. I think after this review and then the next week's review, we're not going to be going live on our personal channels, which is Miss Sabrina's Soul and Itz Jdub. We're going to be only reviewing on Sabrina and Jdub's channel. So make sure you guys go over there and subscribe to that channel. So yeah, just to let you know. Oh, she talking about referring to Ready to Love.
Okay. Oh, the worst season ever.
Oh, that was your mom. Yeah. It's too soon for Huntsville to say that it's the worst season ever or not yet. So we don't know. But Ready to Love, I don't think that we've had enough context at this point. I feel like we have, but then we haven't, because they took the long break. Like, literally, we started to watch it, and in real life, I was like, I don't know any of these people's names. I was like, who was that? Who was that? Like, literally, we had to take notes. I'm like, oh, it's that person. Oh, it's Rose. Oh, it's Cam. Like, we didn't know their names. So this was horrible. I don't know what they thought. Like, I know Huntsville, sometimes they take a break in the middle of their season. And then they like get back to it like after like a month or two or whatever. But that's Huntsville. Like, Huntsville is established. Like, they
Huntsville will give you 40 episodes a year.
Yeah,
and
so that
they can do that,
right. Like, you can't split a season and take a 3-month break and y'all only have 12 episodes total. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So I don't know where Ready to Love got that. Ready to Love, I know you guys be watching my reviews sometimes, but if you're watching this, don't do that anymore. The masses have commented and they have responded. We don't like it. Don't do it no more. Okay. Anyway, you want to go ahead and get started, because we only got an hour.
Okay. I don't even think it's gonna take that long.
It's not gonna take
that long. For we're gonna start the episode out with the brawl for it all. We got Marquez, busting in the house with no key, and then Ken is off the road. So he see what's going on. What Trisha told him, like, hey, this man keep running up in the house. This ain't his house. I don't know what's going on. And now, you know, Ken is fighting for his family because I guess Ken paid the bill. So he bought his family, and, you know, he's trying to set boundaries at this point, even though he has ushered Marquez in the home and said, we're going to be best friends. We're going to co-parent for these grown children. And, you know, let's woo-saw so we can get to the divorce. But that's my theory on Ken and why he's trying to just usher in Marquez. Like, we want it peaceful, we want a resolution. But in the end, it's up to Trisha to initiate or sign the papers or get it done. Because at this point, like anybody, reasonable person says, some divorces take long, but we're talking 5 years before you actually file the paperwork. There's something missing. So it was a to be continued. And, you know, Marquez got upset and like stood up, and Ken told him, like, hey, I need you to sit down. And Marquez like, oh nah, y'all getting weird up in here. He said, well, you know, at this point, if you ain't gonna sit down,
then you could get out.
You got to get up out of here or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Marquez looking confused, and Big Ken got up off that thing, and the cameraman failed us. We missed the tussle. I wanted to see Ken, you know, what he was doing in the gym, wrapped him up. Was they went right away. I don't know if that's for legal purposes or what have you, but one thing I didn't see Marquez go through the door like DJ Jazzy Jeff on the Fresh Prince, you know, the Prince of Bel-Air, like out the door. He was still on his feet, but I was surprised. So it was just a big old mess. And at some point, when is Ken going to say, I've had enough?
I think he has. I think he said it, because in his commentary afterwards, he did say, like, he was talking to Trish. He was like, you was right. You was right. She was like, I told you. She was like, I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when it was going to come. He was like, I should have listened, you know. So, and it's so sad that this is how this episode starts. Like, it starts with them with this conflict. And it's just so unfortunate. And I don't think that the cameraman did us any injustice. I really think that maybe they're trying to turn like a different leaf and not show so much violence and so much, you know, of the stuff we don't really want to see. Like, we don't want to see that. We can cut on social media and see all that violent stuff going on nowadays, be it if it's real or if it's AI. It's a lot of it. So maybe they're just trying to do things a little bit differently. So but I think it is unfortunate that Ken and Trish are going through this with Marquez. But just like I said from the very beginning, Marquez had a goal. His goal was to ruin Trisha's life, to cause chaos, you know, to promote the controversy, to slander or try to make Ken, you know, become his friend, like, you know, like, I'm gonna get in cool with them, because in real life his whole motive was to get close to Trish, period. Regardless if Trish still wants him secretly or not or whatever, that was Marquez's goal. And I think that he succeeded. He was able to move from the state. He came to the state. He knew in the beginning, like, it was all premeditated. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and that was to get his foot in the door. And that's exactly what happened, to the point where he didn't even have to knock to get in it. So, you know, Ken had to learn a hard lesson. But I really feel like, we'll talk about that later on, but I really feel like that Ken is going to let him right back in. Like, he's going to give him another chance, because he said it even when he was talking to his friend Will, like, you know, that's just the type of person I am. You know, I just give chances. So I feel like in the future, that is in the making for that to happen. So, you know, that's just my thoughts, though. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So let's go to something, you know, something that just shocked me, even more so than this fight. We get to Kimmy and Maurice, and Kimmy's having a conversation with Maurice about Jalen, and pretty much telling that Jalen has never really felt like Maurice was a father figure, because that came up because Maurice wants to do a family business, you know, and Maurice loves to promote family business, because hey, he pulled Kimmy from her job as nursing. She was in nursing, and you could tell Kimmy was really reluctant to do that. She didn't love real estate. She, you know, I would say a person who does nursing that long, they love their job, or they have some type of commitment or passion for it. And so at this point, Maurice is deemed the dictator, and Jalen saying, hey, I don't want to put myself in that position if I don't have to. But when we see Kimmy deliver that news to Maurice, like, he sees you as the homie for the first time ever in Love and Marriage Huntsville history. I felt bad for Maurice. I'm like, ooh, you know, it's that, what do you call it? It's how people put it out in the world. Maurice has that thankless job as a stepfather, and at times that can be challenging. However, there's so many dynamics to it. And as Kimmy has said out loud, Maurice is a very hands-off person. And
very
hands off. So at the same time, you know, we got the documentation for years. He has fought to have his son Maurice Jr. to come home with him to be, you know, to raise him up as a teenager, but then gets Kimmy to do the job. Yeah. So I don't know if Maurice is that aware, like, hey, is it? I think it might be me, because it is a dynamic where I guess your stepchild will not connect with you for whatever reasons, and just the fact that, like, hey, you could have done more. And not only that, his younger brother Marceau is actually Jaden's father figure. And I'm like, wow. And what I can say for Maurice at this point, I like that you can see he was hurt, but he did not get like over defensive, because obviously he knows there's something there, like, dang, it is something I haven't done, or what I could have done more. It's different when you like, no, I tried, or whatever, you know, aren't even never. So what you think about that?
Monster, that's what it is. Monster. Hey, Tina Bree.
That's Maurice Jr. Monster.
Yeah, I agree. But you know, sometimes you have to have those hard conversations, and you know, it did feel like that, like he had just eaten a slice of humble pie, you know, because normally Maurice, you know, he always got to come back. He always got something to say. He always got an excuse. He always has a comment. He always has something. And this time he had nothing. And that was probably the first time that I've like seen him kind of speechless. The only thing he really could say was that, you know, I'll talk to him. And, you know, but it's just an unfortunate situation, because I think in this scene, and it's so sad to me, because I felt like in this scene that Kimmy gave him a lot of information, and the only thing that he heard was Jalen thinks of Marceau more of a father figure than him. I think everything else went out. It came in one ear and went out the other. Like the fact that, you know, you're not present, you're not here. Like you treat him differently. Like no one wants to do business with you. Like, I mean, it's so many other things that she hit on that I don't think it even registered. Like, wait a minute. It's more so not just the fact that I'm not, like, he doesn't look at me as a father figure. Like, maybe I need to do some work on myself. Like, it seemed like I ain't such a cool guy when it comes to like that, you know, field or whatever, or within that, you know, situation. Well, actually not that situation, of all the situations that she had mentioned, it's like he's falling short. And I don't know. I just feel like that he is really not, he's just very self-centered. That's what I think. He's very self-centered, and I really feel like that he could be like this great person, but he like gets in his own way. That's what I feel like. And he could be like such a great entrepreneur, a great family man, a great, you know, but I don't know. His priorities are just a little bit different. His priorities is to make sure Maurice is good. That's what I feel.
I think that's a great assessment, because that's the same vibe that I get. I mean, because at the Hope, for all the seasons, people are up in arms like, oh, how could he be like this to Kimmy? He's always focused on himself and what he needs. Always. And it's been consistent. He's very consistent on that. And I guess what they say, that chickens have come home to roost. And you, like you said, he wasn't surprised. Like, he's heard it before, and Kimmy has been vocal to say like, I'm doing all the heavy lifting, even with her cancer treatment and everything. You know, it's a thing. It's a real thing. I mean,
like, you know? Every season.
Yep, right there. Yep. Yeah, the mere fact that Kimmy stated that she was actively in her cancer fight, that she was still cooking and cleaning, and Monster wasn't listening, raised red flags.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Where's the support if anytime she's fighting for her life and he is still expecting Kimmy to discipline his son, in which he brought to their home,
right,
to take. I mean, it's the thing. And then we're not even gonna get to the part where, I mean, like, the record is bad where he was still wanting Kimmy to do her wifely duties while she was fighting for her life,
undergoing chemo at that time.
Listen, like, for most people in the journeys, you may have experienced someone in your family that has had cancer. However, it's a totally different thing to actually go through it. And then to have the people around you not having compassion or empathy and supporting you, especially your spouse. So, you know, Maurice don't really have a good record there, but that's we could do a whole segment on Maurice. But let's go ahead over to Nell and Fletcher's estate. I didn't see a pool over there, but it's a visual piece of candy when I see that. Every time when I see that house spread it across, it looked like a couple of houses. The overpass under the garage, the third out, it was everything.
So shout out to Chris and Nell. We love your house, and if you ever want to invite us over for barbecue, we're there.
Yes, Nell and Chris, you can mentor us at a barbecue.
Anytime, and we will never deny the mentorship and say that you didn't when you really did. Okay.
So pretty much Chris and Nell are discussing, I guess, the condition of Nell's friendship with Destiny. And to me, this is the field where it's really kind of things are exposing that these people aren't really friends, because, you know, Chris even wants to know, like, why did she call you, or what's going on, and what's it about? Because Nell is feeling some kind of way where Destiny has kind of pulled back of saying, like, hey, if you are supporting my ex Moses' wife, I forgot her name, you know, she was the producer, Destiny's friend, then she was like, well, I got to question our friendship. And Nell was like, I've been here for you the whole time. And now you want to question? So maybe I'll question my friendship. So, you know, with you. And it's a real thing. So this is where I'm starting to feel like the fibers are tearing apart. But, you know, everybody's got an issue with each other now. And
they haven't been friends since season 1, episode 5. Let's put it out there. They stopped being friends. Then when the whole, what was that thing called that they were going to do? That group thing.
Oh, the comeback group.
The comeback group. Once that comeback group was not going to happen, they was like, oh, well, that was the only reason why I was even friends with you, for real. Like, once that wasn't gonna happen, it was a done deal.
Yeah, nobody
they ain't been friends since then.
And Nell came in late, but like I said, they're not really friends because, you know, Nell thinks she's everybody's mentor. But I get the mentor thing. If you take your time out to counsel or sit with or support anyone in their personal situation, when you can be focused on your own marriage and your own kids, that is something.
Absolutely.
That's something, because I don't have to care. I can take care of it. Yeah.
Right. And for real. And the reason the fact I would feel so, what is the word? Like, I would feel so like appreciative that they would even sit down, especially if we're having problems and they take time out of their day. Because in real life, they might not have the degree or the book knowledge or whatever, but guess what? They have 20, 30 years in marriage. Like, we're not going to downplay that, you know, and mentor who? I got people I pay to do that, you know, just graduated 7 years ago and got their degree and went to school for 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but who am I? I digress. But all I'm saying is I would have really, you know, appreciated. I wouldn't have like downplayed that whole situation. I thought like when, you know, Melody, you know, she had mentioned that and kind of like treated Nell like that, kind of like just dismissed her. That was like really messed up because they didn't have to sit down and talk to them. So she, you know, Melody can call it whatever she wants to call it. If she doesn't want to call it mentorship, maybe she was just calling it brunch with friends, you know, but I saw it as dead, like, you know, Mel and Chris, like they're taking their time out their day to help them out. Like y'all was sitting there talking about y'all problems. Like we wasn't talking about what we was going to do for this summer. What beaches we was going to, sipping on margaritas and mojitos. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That really made me feel a type of way. What did Charmaine say? She said, I love the Fletchers, but
I mean, I'll put it up on screen.
Oh, sorry. I was talking. But all I see is when I look at Chris Fletcher is the Gary G and U from that children's show, the 80s, The Great
Space Coast. Charmaine, you really telling your
her
age.
age.
Yes. Because I don't even remember the people in Great Space Coast, but I remember that song, The Great Space Coaster. But I got to go look on YouTube, because you can find any and everything you want on YouTube. I go back and watch old movies and commercials. I be telling my wife, I say, you remember this Volkswagen commercial?
He be pulling it up.
And you can pull it up on YouTube.
Absolutely.
But now I got to go find Gary
and he will.
on the Great Space Coaster.
And he's going to show me.
Yep, I'm going to show her.
Yep.
So we see the ladies go have that actual powwow or sit down that Nell wants to have to kind of clear things up. It's Tisha there, it's Kimmy there, Trisha's there. And I guess really they're trying to get things straight within the friend group, because the ladies haven't been seeing eye to eye or haven't been close as normal. And they got questions. They have a lot of questions, because they want to get to the bottom of like, well, Nell, I just learned your son had a baby, and look like we just found out along with Destiny that, hey, I got a newborn. But at the same time, we feel like you've been promoting that relationship. You're promoting. But here we are. Destiny's in shock. We're in shock. How do you feel about it? And, Nell's pretty much breaking down, hey, I actually have 2 grandchildren that were surprise grandbabies, and I'm better with it. But the fact is that I don't know. I never knew. Excuse me. I got to clear my throat.
Hey, Jeremy Spinks.
Okay.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow Jeremy. We love Jeremy. All right. If y'all have not seen his videos, y'all got to definitely check out his videos. He has taken off these last few years. So, and we both are like fans of Jeremy.
Yeah,
so
Jeremy's big time now.
Yep. Yeah, he is.
So pretty much what back what I was saying with Nell, she's like, I'm in shock. I'm dealing with it and all of that. But, I didn't know. I had no idea that my son had a baby. When y'all found out, I found out. I wasn't like playing in Destiny face as a friend. And I get that, because a lot of times most people know how messy it can get when maybe one of your family members is dealing with one of your friends, where it's like, hey, go in it with caution. It has nothing to do with me. I'm hands off. So in real life, you gotta understand that that's a part of the situation. And you know what? For some reason, I believe her, because at the same time, Chris is in his 30s. He's been divorced. He has other children, and he surprised the world with a baby. You can't put that on Nell. You can't put it on Nell. And if Destiny has a problem with that, then that's it. And I get it that Nell had a problem with Destiny before with again, like she told Chris, she's questioning my friendship. I've been there for her. I've supported her. So now if I'm befriending or inviting your ex's new wife to the group, and now you're upset with me and you're questioning me, it's a thing. So, but that wasn't the only, they was really like discussing what's the word on the street. So Nell's like, hey, I feel interrogated. So guess what? Let's talk about some of that tea that's out there on the streets about, what's going on with you guys and everything. And they're talking. And so Kimmy and Tisha bring up like, hey, we're talking about that interview with Martell and Marceau's
side piece.
Yeah, his situation. And Kimmy, I felt like she was deflecting and saying like, oh, this is just such ridiculous. If it's gonna be one, it ain't gonna be her. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, you did, and it always be the ones you never expect.
Right.
So to even say that,
yeah, I thought that was quite ridiculous. And then Nell wanted to know with Tisha, like, how do you feel about it? And I'm gonna tell you like this.
This is what deflection looks like when you open the dictionary. And you want to see
Tisha has had PR training. She came back and said, well, Nell,
what do you think? How do you feel about what Martell did? Because even we sat back and we was like, but he ain't saying nothing about my husband. He was talking about your husband. But Nell answered it. So I think also too that, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like when the cameras are in y'all face, like for real, sometimes you don't have time to think because it's too much that you're thinking about in that moment. I promise you. Like, you thinking about, oh my God, is my eyelash coming off? Like, true story, y'all, for a woman. When the camera is in your face, you thinking, is my eyelash coming off? Do I have lipstick on my teeth? The people that's around, all 8 cameras that are filming you. I gotta think about, I gotta be quick with the response. I don't want to sound like I'm lying. I don't want to give too much information, but then I want to sound genuine. Like, I gotta think, like, what's she gonna think? And then I gotta make sure I gotta look at everybody's face to see their facial expressions, just in case, because I need to make sure when I leave here and what. Like, it's so much, because in real life, if Trish would have asked me that question, I would have been like, but we talking about your husbands. We're not talking about how I feel about it. I asked you. You can't ask me no question and answer me. I'm not going to answer my own question. You know what I'm saying? And that's how Nell should have took it. But Nell actually answered the question. But when she was on green screen, she actually did say what I just said. But I would have said that in her face. I wouldn't have waited until after, like, filming was done, that scene or whatever. But yeah, that's what deflection looks like. Kimmy absolutely was like, you know, he would never, I mean, like, look at her. I mean, what, she got to be fine, dime, dressed to the T. She had to be wearing Louis, Chanel. I mean, what did she have to have on? Real diamonds? I mean, what does she need to look like for him to cheat? I would really just love to know, what does the side chicks need to look like in order to be side chicks, if there is a thing. And if anybody in the comments section can answer that for me, I would so greatly appreciate that. But yeah, you know, they always deflect. Kimmy and Tisha, they will defend their men to, and they supposed to, that's their spouse, you know what I mean? But they are going to defend their men to the end. I don't know why y'all expecting anything else, but they absolutely are going to defend their men. And then when they go ask their men about it, when their men lie to them, allegedly, they're going to believe them too. And they, even though they know it's a lie. So that's just what I've seen. And I just started watching everything. Y'all know probably from episode 1. I just watched, we binged last year we binged The Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I'd never watched it previously. So we sat and watched all the seasons. And yeah, and it's just given, you know, that's my man, and I'm gonna stick by him. You know, that's what it gives, period. And that's cool.
Well, I am the number one commenter, even though I took a step back. But I got to answer this question. Okay. Why are the Scotts and Fleshers so forgiving with Martell? Martell and Ariane have done the most. And I have to agree with that. I think you have to be forgiving with somebody who has your skeletons and knows where the bodies are. You have to handle with such care. But it is a part of me that believes that Martell is so petty that if he really had something, he would have really put it on, because people aren't really believing that interview he had with the side chick for Marceau. However, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's been going down at Maurice's place of business. I don't see one client. I don't see.
I'm about to block this person.
What we got?
This person right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Because they whack. Anyway, because we in a whole new season. We done took a whole year off. We give no fucks over here. We will call your ass out, delete and block your ass. We don't give a fuck anymore. We don't have no NDAs, no contracts. We don't have no loyalties to nobody no more. So
be gone.
We on a whole nother level. So anyway, back to the positive shit.
Yeah. So at the same time, he knows something, but at the same time, why is he revealing what's going on? But as I said, I'm gonna call Maurice's office the dungeon, because it's so many stories about Maurice don't come home. There's private parties afterwards. I don't see a client, whether it's for the credit score repair, the lawyer fees, and I don't see nothing but drama around there. So it's something going on there. And yeah, they know something. So.
Hey, it's me, Kia. Thank you for your support. Hi, no one cares. I mean, one who cares. Jeremy says they always cheat with uglier persons. That's literally the cheating handbook.
It's easy, huh? It's easy.
It's easy to walk away, huh?
Yeah.
They'll literally never cheat with the better looking woman. Yeah, because they might end up with them. Then too, it become messy. And then too, from what I had heard, like men end up dealing with someone that's not as pretty, or they deal with like women that they feel aren't as attractive, or maybe not their type that they would go for. They usually go for the women that they cheat with that make it easier for them to be able to cheat. That's what it is. And it's usually women that probably really couldn't like get them if they met them at a bar or walked up to them or something like that. So, it's an easy conquest for those men to be able to, knock them down and get the skirt. You know what I'm saying? What they say in the street.
So let's go on to the over to the bar. They got this new bar. I forgot what it's called. Ken's buddy's there. I don't know if he's the owner or whatever. And he meets Fletcher over there to discuss what happened with Marquez. And I'm gonna tell you like this: out of all the seasons, I don't know Ken's friend name, but to me, he gave the most realist, honest advice I've ever seen. Because Ken's he's talking about, man, like things got so out of hand at home. The man coming up in my house like it ain't nothing, like he owned the place. And it's like he's not aware of how much he's contributed to this problem. He's trying to be the good guy. And Ken's friend told him, he's like,
his name Will.
Will, okay. Mm-hmm. Will is telling Ken, like, historically, you've always been the good guy. When do you say enough is enough? And that's a huge statement. He knows him. He's been through his issues. He's not saying just in this situation and everything. So at some point, Ken is going to have to look at himself, because he says he's the provider, the protector. That's a part of protection. You're allowing the sinners into your door. Even though Trish is telling him, like, this man is no good, he's pure evil, he's going to destroy everything. Right. You can't trust him. Ken was like, no, we could bring him in the house, and after he slaughters everybody, he's wondering about what happened. I was just trying to be a good guy. And Ken says out to his mouth in front of a group of fellas saying, I'm here to manage Marquez's emotions and feelings. And Chris Fletcher was like, what? You ain't trying to marry him. Why are you managing his emotions and feelings? Give me something on that, babe. Anything.
I was going to say, I don't know if I can give you anything.
You got something. You have such a great perspective. You want me? I'll keep going.
Okay. I'm gonna say, first off, his friend Will, that's his friend. That's his boy. He gave it to him raw. He gave it to him. And it was to the point where Will was so real with him. Ken, you could tell from his body language, he actually started to get uncomfortable. It was like he ain't really want to hear what Will had to say, but everything Will was saying was on point. I'm like, if I was Will, if I had to sit down and talk to Ken, I would have said everything that Will said. But the crazy thing is even though Will was speaking the facts and was telling him exactly like how it was, he still, it seemed like to me, it wasn't absorbing. It's like he got it, but it felt like he wanted to not get it. I don't know what it is with Ken in this relationship that he wants to have with Marquez. I don't know, but I really hope that it can work out. But honestly, from what I've seen in the history, how Tish talks about Marquez and what Marquez has shown me, just from what I've seen, there is no reconciliation that I feel like that's going to be had. I feel like, if she really wants to be with this man, Ken, and have this family, he already like raising her kids. They bought a home together. They just built a gym in the house. Like, they pretty much walking around like they married, which is so weird to me because they're sitting down. She's sitting down with her legs crossed over top in her house that she bought with her boyfriend. And they're sitting down having a conversation with her husband right there in their living room. That is so odd to me. Like, in real life, lady, like, if you're going to move on, like, just move on. Y'all don't need to have meetings. Let the courts handle it, because obviously you guys have tried. It didn't work out. Let the government, the law, the magistrate, the judge, whoever other than you guys, let them decide the visitation and everything else. Go ahead and get that divorce, because, you know, he said, you know, he contested the divorce because he said the kids wasn't on there. Like, I feel like maybe the kids were on there. He's just trying to prolong it. You know why? He probably going to prolong it just long enough for him to last on the show. And that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother subject. But I feel like it is what it is. Shout out to Will. That was a great conversation that you had with Ken. Hopefully you guys can have many more off camera so he can like finally get it, because if not, Marquez is going to keep making Ken look dumb and stupid and incompetent. Like, and that's what he's doing. He's doing a great job. That was his goal accomplished. So
yeah, I mean, at that point, Will was just basically breaking down, like, at what point will you remove yourself? He said everything but leave that woman. He said everything but that, but he was saying it. And a wise man once told me, only you know when you had enough. He's going through it and through it. He's seeing everybody at fault and that he's just trying to be the good guy, but not seeing that, hey, maybe this isn't a healthy relationship to enter. Because on top of you trying to deal with, manage the emotions of your wife's current husband, your fiance, or they're not engaged.
They not even engaged. That's the point that I'm trying to make. They not even
your girlfriend, where you pay all the bills at y'all house, is not even showing that she's eager or wanting to marry you. She's showing pause right in front of your face. So what are you fighting for at this point?
Absolutely.
It is. I think it is time for Ken to step back and say, hey, I want you to do your business. I'm not even saying about your life or whatever, but we can't do this. Resolve that, and then we can do our thing.
Yeah.
You know,
something.
Yeah.
Or like I said, let the people handle it. Let the judge handle it. Let the courts handle it. Y'all take a step back and remove yourself from the situation, because it's not going to be amicable. Is that the right word?
Absolutely. No, that's great advice, because when you're dealing with an emotional terrorist, you can't get into the feelings, which is Marquez. You have to let the courts handle it line by line, because obviously y'all can't work it out.
Yeah.
So that is the best advice.
Right. Go back to what Jeremy said. He said that what he say? The house is the one she got with Marquez, but I thought Marquez lived somewhere else.
Well, I think what Jeremy's saying, that like he abandoned the property. Let's say they bought it together. I don't know, but Jeremy's a more expert in this maybe than we are.
Maybe
so. Yeah, so that maybe that was their marital home. He abandoned the property.
I don't think Ken would be acting that he would have bucked the way that he bucked if that was Marquez and Tisha's house from the beginning.
Maybe so.
You know what I'm saying? I bought this house. I bought it because you can get out. You want to sit down? Come on.
You can buck when you're paying the bills in it. Everybody can talk about. You can talk about what you want, but if that's money coming out your account, you can buck.
But the man that Marquez is the type of man to be like, I don't care who paying for this house. I bought this house with my wife. Because he quick to be like, that's my wife.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
He'll be like, this is my house.
It's got my name on it. Yeah. So I guess you're right. He would use anything.
I'm just saying.
And you know what? Charmaine brought up, Marquez did an interview. The kids were not on the original. It was amended to add them. Because that's what I'm thinking. Because he contested it. And if they contested, there was something there that was off on that paperwork. So yeah, they added it to it. That is different, because yes, in order to have that simple type of divorce, it has to be, you can't have minor children. So if he put it, it's wrong. What you see?
Go down. You can't make them go down because it's more comments up there. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So yeah, that was a thing. So
Will knows that Trisha is a
messy husband.
Trisha, I've been calling her Tisha. Oh God!
Yeah, Trisha, Martell, Marquez, Maurice.
Hey, Robin. I think Will said that if it were him, then Trish would be a thing of the past. I could have swore I heard Will say this.
You did hear Will say this, and he was saying nicely, get rid of her, dump her, you dump her fast, because she's no good for you. That's what he was telling her. What I was saying, leave her. What I was saying, leave her.
Marquez provides documents to prove Trisha left the kids off of the original filing. I don't think Marquez was lying about that. Oh, okay.
I think so too. That's what I said. How can you contest it if everything was in order? So obviously it was not in order. Just because they yelling, you see it right here. Again, that could be the amended copy. Because they can say, hey, we made a mistake and we're correcting it now. So yeah.
His friend probably knows so much more stuff that's going on.
Talking about Will. He does.
Oh yeah.
He does.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's Ken's counselor and mentor.
Absolutely.
He's been going to. So so at that point, let's go ahead and move on to Maurice and Jalen. You know, he's ready to confront Jalen about what's going on from the comment that Kimmy said that he said. He said, hey, I see you as the homeboy. I don't see you as a father figure. I actually see your younger brother as my dad, more so than you. So I'm thinking, yeah, some things, I'm gonna say a lot of things need to be discussed. However, you can't unchange that. That's the way, that was Jalen's experience. And for good reason. What? Maurice has been around for over 10 years. And yes, Maurice said, I would have loved to make an impact on it. But the question is, did you do everything you could to make that impact? Now, you know, it was resistant, but it was kind of a telling situation in which, like, when Jalen was expressing himself, you could tell that it was an uncomfortable subject, but Jalen was really trying to make him understand that, like, in real life, you're showing favoritism. Me and Monster is in there, but you're going to go make me do something. You're going to make me perform or take care of some chores, but you won't tell Monster to do the same. And I get that, because it is supposed, if you're taking on Kimmy's son as your son, you're supposed to treat him equally, because if that's a part of your love and discipline, your son is supposed to get it as well. Not just make Jalen be the wicked stepson and do everything that you know. So I understand how he felt the kind of way, and he feels it's like a dictatorship, or he couldn't be close to him. Maurice milk dud head never listens to understand. Absolutely. Even so, Marceau brought it up. Like, wow, like, you don't listen to anybody. Yep. And that's the thing. And anytime your wife can look you in your eye and say, your hands off. Good God Almighty. He knows it's the truth. And just the fact that it is a tough situation, because every relationship with step parent or stepchild situation will not go smoothly or as planned, but you got to do your best.
Yeah, I don't got nothing. I feel like everything that I would have to say, I've already said when him and Kimmy sat down and had the conversation. I just feel like at the end of the day, even all the stuff that Jalen sat and told him during the pool game, it was like he only heard what he wanted to hear, and everything else that he should have and needed to hear and register, it literally, it went right back out the other ear. So, you know, it is what it is. It's just an unfortunate situation, because, you know, he has two great kids, and for real, he failed both of them, you know, because he thinks that, you know, the reason and for him to be like, the reason I was harder on Jalen is because, you know, I felt like, you know, like, what did they say when the teacher harder on you is because, like, out of all the students, they're hard on you. They see the potential in you. Absolutely. And that's what he was, for me, that's what I felt like he was trying to give and trying to say. But I felt like that was just an excuse. I feel like, no, you just are not hands-on. You were hands-on, but in the wrong kind of way with Jalen, and you weren't, you know, really hands-on with Monster, and that's your son. Kimmy was more, you know, of a father figure than you were, you know what I mean, to your own son. So I just feel like he just really missed the whole ball. And this is what season is this? 10?
Something like that.
He has 10 seasons to get this right. And I'm sure that they was in each other's lives, like, prior to the show even starting. So, and they've been kind of telling him every season. So in real life, he missed like almost a whole freaking decade of, like, being a father figure. So it'd be different if it was like a little bit here, a little bit here. He dropped the ball a little bit there, you know. No, you was like this the whole time. Yeah, like, that's very disappointing. That's sad, you know. And the thing is he doesn't even care. Like if it was me, and I'm sure they go back and watch these episodes, and probably, like you said, he'd be looking at the comments and be watching reviews and stuff like that.
He brings lawsuits and all that. Ain't no question.
Yeah.
He might be in the chat right now.
Yeah, well, allegedly, because I don't know these people. We need to start saying that from the beginning. Everything is alleged.
Okay, put the disclaimer on it.
Put the disclaimer, because we don't know these people. We only know what they show us. You know, so, but it's just an unfortunate situation. But I, you know, hope that, you know, when they're like 60 or 70 years old, he can look back and look at his time of being on reality TV and finally like admitting his faults, and him and Kimmy can, you know, finally live their best life. And hopefully, you know, at that time he don't have dementia like he kind of acts like he does now. But anyway.
But I left this comment because I just want to, you know, I love the comments. Monster from Joy O. Monster was younger than Jalen, and I believe Maurice did his best. Wow. So here's the thing, Joy. Oh, like we're definitely, I want to hear from the people because they hear different perspectives. But because we've watched the show from the beginning, Maurice has consistently put himself first in a lot of situations, whether it's moving his ex-wife and her husband to pay for their living quarters or whatever the case, without consulting Kimmy.
That was his best.
Yeah, bringing Monster here, but Kimmy is saying like, hey, you want me to discipline Monster? You begged for him to be here. I supported you through this, and now you're hands off because you want to become a lawyer. There's no excuse. His pattern doesn't show that. It shows he could have done better. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the comment.
But maybe it was his best.
Okay.
So who are we to say he could have been better?
Okay.
So I guess you're right.
Okay. I like that. That's why I say I love other perspectives. Maurice seems to be emotionally vacant. Absolutely.
That's because he emotionally on vacation, allegedly, all the time. But you know, who are we? Who are we?
We're YouTube commenters.
I would like to see Maurice and Monster's relationship with Maurice's 2 older daughters that he doesn't talk about at all. Dang, I didn't even know he had.
And Charmaine, I forgot that he did, and I forgot where I heard that from. And that's the thing. Like, we never hear it. We don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Interesting.
It is.
Maurice's ex-wife and Kimmy look like a before and after picture of weight loss commercial. Maurice has a type.
He's got a type. He talking about Kiowa, that's his ex-wife. So they like similar if they go back in time. Really? Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they really. Maurice talked about his needs to Kimmy while she battled. Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't know. I just see Maurice as just a very self-centered man. I feel like that, you know, he comes off as like very smart and very like there, like when he's actually in the conversation, he seems to be very engaging, you know, but when it's like defending himself, I wish he put that energy in other places too. But, you know.
Okay. Whatever. I'm gonna answer Andrea. When does Ready to Love start? Soon as we finish, we're gonna close this one off, take a small break, and come right back with another live.
Yep, for Ready to Love. Ready to Love started the new season, second half. It started this Friday. Unfortunately, guys, sorry, we did not go live like we normally do Saturdays after Love and Marriage, Huntsville. We were busy, and I guess we should have put that in the little note section. But anyway, we're here now. But Ready to Love did start for their second half this past Friday. We are actually about to get ready to wrap this up. We have one more tip that we want to discuss, and then we're going to hop off, but then we're going to hop back on so we can do the live review of Ready to Love, episode number 7. Because you remember, we weren't doing Ready to Love last season when it first started, or this season when it started. We didn't really review it. So we were like, you know what? When they come back, we're going to come back too. So. Right.
Well, yeah, let's just close out. I'm excited now. Already Ready to Love. So the last scene we was dealing with Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy and Maurice. They sit down to have a dinner to discuss this. Hey, Marceau is Jalen's father figure. And I get it that would be shocking, but everybody has their theories on it. And
Marceau said, I'm not I don't think of myself as his dad. He said I was like a father figure, not his dad.
whoa. I was like,
I'm
Marceau
like, that's the
missed
same
some,
damn thing, isn't it?
Yeah, he missed the comprehension class. That's exactly what it is. That's
I was like,
that's how you see your dad, as the father figure. That's your dad in your eyes.
No, it's not the same thing though.
Okay.
Babe, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
No.
But what was enlightening about that that conversation, Marceau stood 10 toes down and telling Maurice, like, hey, you're not like receptive to other people. You're not opening to listening. And you are like a, what do you call it? A tyrant, a dominant figure. Mm-hmm. And who would want to go into business with you like that? Because you're not looking for partnership. You're looking for domination. Mm-hmm. So, and you got to know that Marceau knows Maurice. So like Maurice knows it too. So at this point, it's nothing else to argue. So it's just going to get worse by Marceau telling Maurice his truth. Because I totally believe Marceau. Who knows him better? He's like, you're talking about the situation with Jalen and Monster. It was just the same situation, me and you. You were the golden child because you were younger, and I had to take all the brunt. And how you're treating Jalen, that was me. So wow, what an episode. So I can't wait to get to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's me. Kia says, honestly, after your season, I wasn't feeling ready to love anymore. It used to be really good. I'm not sure what changed. Kia, I concur. I feel like after Miami, I think it was, after Miami, I was like I just started to get very disinterested. Like I remember telling Jdub like towards the end, like last year when we were about to stop doing it, I was like, it's just not fun anymore. I was like, it's just people get so invested into Ready to Love and it'd be so controversial, and then like it'd be whole political, and then people be in the comments and they be it just was getting messy and it was just drama, and then the format, and then it just seemed like everybody in real life, it just wasn't genuine or real anymore. So I don't know. I think like after Miami, I was like, so, but I agree. But other than that, we are getting ready to close this live out. We are about to go on. Just stay with us. If you don't know, it's probably on any one of the channels, but if you have liked our commentary, if you don't, it don't matter. Thumbs up, thumbs down, don't matter. At the end of the day, it's still the algorithm. But we would greatly appreciate it if you give us a thumbs. And how do you feel about Love and Marriage Huntsville? Are you guys missing Mel? Comment down below if you are part of the replay gang. Are you watching this season? Hi, little titty DMV. Little titties DMV. Okay, hey girl, hey. So just let us know, but we will see you guys on the flip side. And don't forget to subscribe to Sabrina and Jdub's channel, because we have one more week on our personal channels. Then we're going to be over there full time doing all of our reviews on TV shows. And then I'm going to be starting my skincare routine. Y'all know in what, 17 days? In 17 days, I'm about to be 50 years old. Y'all gonna have my skincare routine and everything. We're gonna be doing Get Ready with Me and all kinds of stuff. So make sure you stay tuned for more Miss Sabrina Soul, and don't forget to subscribe over to Sabrina and Jdub. Anyway, love you guys. Talk to you soon, real soon. All right, see you in a minute. Bye.